companies that do idiot things because they'll pull the plug on you. In case you're curious. Valuable lesson today. Valuable lesson today. Don't talk bad about idiots at idiotic companies because they'll pull the plug. Oh, let's try this again. Toys Mafia, Jake, guys made it over. Thank you. Done a little bit of housekeeping, just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit in the last week. But what I'm going to get into, I'll grab this, my phone's going to fall over. And I swear I don't remember how to say his name properly, so don't crucify me too bad over this. The PE008 came. I ordered 2 of these. You guys remember who this is? Matt, how's it going, man? I'm glad you guys stuck with me. Remind me not to talk bad about idiotic companies. Don't let me do it again. Stop me before I start ranting. Pull the plug. Got this from 1/6 Kit, I think. Or 1/6 Outfitters. I don't remember. I'm sorry. It's either 1/6 Kit or 1/6 Outfitters. I don't remember. I think it's 1/6 Kit. I sent these. Did you see the new Vision? The white Vision from WandaVision. I don't remember why he was white in the show. If you've not seen the show, obviously you've seen the white Vision because he's up for pre-order. I would be curious if any of you really talented customizers will be using that white to make the gray one that had his stone removed from his head by Thanos. Wasn't that a powerful scene? Scarlet Witch destroys the stone, killing Vision. Thanos reverses time, brings him back to life just to kill him again. My goodness. Oh, what a move. What a move. So y'all remember what this is? The PE008. Willie, how's it going? Robert, what's going on, man? What was another one that I ordered? I ordered the Kingpin. There's a Kingpin out there now. Kingpin's been played by many live actors, depending on what movie that you represented him out of. The Daredevil that had Matt Damon. No, excuse me. Ben Affleck played Daredevil. There was a Kingpin in that. A Kingpin in the Daredevil television series. Netflix series. Right? There's been a handful of Kingpin actors. And this one, I didn't see that it represented anyone specifically. Maybe it did. Maybe I just didn't notice the difference. I ordered it. Y'all remember what this is? The Omniscient. Help me remember his name. Heindel? 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 Toys R PE stands for Premium Edition. Otherwise, it would just be a TE, which would be a Toys Era. So PE08, so they've only made now 8 of their Premium Edition figures. And I don't know why this one was considered a Premium Edition. And he's looking good. He's looking real good. I was watching Thor Dark World the other day after watching. Oh, I didn't watch the new Loki yet. Or did I? Hold on now. I'm trying to remember if I watched the new Loki that came out on Wednesday. I know I planned on it. Don't remember if I did or not. Hold on, let me think. Oh, you know what it was? I started watching it and I fell asleep. And no, it wasn't because it was boring. It was because I just fell asleep. It was interesting. Quite interesting, actually. I hope you guys are watching Loki. Let's just throw him down right there. I can't get the little hand out of here. There we go. Oh, come on now. Let's just lay him down for a minute. Let's get my YouTube channel back up here on my computer because he clicked my mouse off when he fell on it. Gotta make sure I gotta see if I'm being censored. Come on. Oh. I think this is metal. It's got some weight to it. I think this is metal. That black blade on there. Look at that. If you guys ordered one of those, I'm sure you're very happy with it. If you didn't, I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, maybe I should have got one of those. Got a cloth here. Polish this up with. Can't tell. Put some glasses on. I can't tell if that's paint bubble or what it is towards the hilt on the blade. I'll have a look. Not only is it paint bubble, the gloss is peeling off. So you rushed the process. Trust me, I'm no painter. I thought I could paint. I'm no painter. But I know it isn't supposed to look like this. So what I'm talking about is here where the blade narrows. Don't know if you can see it or not, but there's some bubbling and some chipping where the gloss or whatever it is they put on it is coming off there. So, see if I can get it. I don't know if you can see that or not. I hope you can. But it's pretty neat, you know, from distance. It'll do its job. Good effort, I'll say that. Toys that are normally, you can count on them doing a pretty good job. The cable had an eye problem if you got the PE version of that. It's figure stand base that they give. I don't know. I think that's supposed to represent like the circle that whenever they get teleported to the Rainbow Bridge that's left on the ground. I don't know enough about it to be able to comment properly. Let's see if we can get back into the channel now that my computer's back. Curious if the helmet comes off or not. It's a pliable helmet. I don't think it's designed to come off. You could take it off. I don't see any hair in here, so know that if you decide to pry it off, you're going to need to put some hair on it. His eyes look pretty cool in there. I like the color on this. I don't know if it was this color brown or not. I don't remember. But I sure do love all the detailing throughout the whole thing, all along the edges here of his outfit, on the front of his shin guards, all the little markings on his gauntlets. They really did a good job as far as all that goes. You see his eyes in there? So he has two fists. He has two, well, he has a left sword holding hand, and then he has a right thumb tip, you know, holding hand, like we've seen with USB drives and documents and whatnot. And then we have kind of a right relaxed hand, if you will, and then a left also kind of a holding, you know, extended hand, if that makes any sense what I'm trying to explain it as. And what else is in here? Something I didn't know he had. a neat little dagger case, and the daggers come out. And they're metal just like the others. The other sword is. I don't I don't know where this goes. Clips onto a belt, perhaps. It seems to have a little clip, kind of like the Captain America clips do for the shield on his back. Does anybody know where that goes? And that's all the accessories it comes with. Does it go on his side, or is... I mean, where would this go? You think I should keep the van, huh? Trying to sell it. I've got a lady that says she wants to sell it, buy it. So hopefully she'll come through. Clipped on the back. Maybe like straight up on the back, right here at the waist. You think that's where it belongs? I mean, it looks like it would go there. I certainly don't remember. It seems to be a place that somebody would draw daggers out of if they had them, you know, positioned like that. Just reach behind themselves and slide it out. It looked cool. You know, it's sad. Most of us never display the backs of our figures. Some backs of our figures have got some really good stuff going on. So doesn't he hold it like with his hand, one hand around the hilt? I mean the what's this called? I don't know, the hand grip, and then one hand on the pommel. Isn't that how he normally holds it? Kind of like grip and like that. Isn't that how he does it? So I'm going to put this relaxed hand on the pommel and the sword hand on what's it called? Sheath? What's it called? Put some shields on my Captain Americas. Oh, that was fun. Several hours it took doing that. Hours. Hours. Me and Shields don't get along. I don't care who it is. Captain America, Leonidas. Hi. Of course, this is made with pleather, so 5 years the suit will dissolve off. Somebody ought to sue Hot Toys. Make them have to repair or reissue for free all of these damaged figures that just dissolved out. See if I can get this going on. I'm going off my memory. You would think by now I'd learn to watch the show before unboxing the video. I've seen the show years ago. I said I started watching Dark World the other day. That was interesting. I think that turned out all right. That sword is beautiful. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And that's all the accessories it comes with, are just the 4 hands. That's it. So he'll look good with Odin and Loki, Thor. It's nice to have these third-party companies doing the work and bringing us these pieces that would not get brought to us at all otherwise. You know? I mean, come on, when did the first Thor come out? 2010 or 11? 10 years ago? Dark World, like 2 years later or something? Or maybe even the next year? I don't remember. Absolute pain. Absolute pain. Yeah, I've broke a couple of them too in my life. Yeah, I think I remember seeing him also with his hand, kind of resting on top of the pommel. I think. Don't know if I can get this up anymore. See if we can finagle that some more. There we go. Now we're one on the grip and one on the pommel. There's no doubt about who it is. If you know the movies, you recognize Heimdall? Is it Heimdall? I'm sorry, I don't remember. You know who it is. If you don't, well, then I could tell you it's anybody I wanted to. I could tell you it's King Tut, and you'd be like, "Ah, King Tut, cool. Was he in a movie? Yeah, he was in a movie. He was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Yeah, that's who this is. You know we do this for ourselves. We like showing off our collection, but God, I had someone over the other day that I got to show my collection to, and he's like, "Oh, so what are these from?" God. Yeah, we do it for our own love of the hobby. I hope it gives you peace. It gives me peace to some degree. And next time we talk, Black Widow will have been out. Somebody already gave a review. Um, I don't understand that. Normally, they're not allowed to give reviews until like Tuesday, the week of. So I don't know if it was a real review or not. But I have my ticket for Thursday. And Disney Premium will be on television at your house on Friday. So either or, go to the theater and enjoy a night out, or wait another day and enjoy a night in and watch it on Disney Plus on your computer or your cell phone. I got it on my cell phone. I got it on my computer. I've got it on my Roku device. So I mean, I could watch it any way I wanted to. I could watch it on my cell phone while I'm traveling on a bus. I could watch it on my computer while I'm at work, or I could watch it at my home. It's pretty nice in that regards. Why take us along with the shields? Were you trying a certain pose? No! Gosh dang it. So, the way you're supposed to put the shield on, you're supposed to put the grippy hand into that portion of the shield. Okay? So now you've got the hand disconnected from the arm. All right? And then you slide the arm over, or you slide the arm portion of the shield over the arm. And then you're supposed to snap the two together. So whenever you press into it, the little wrist peg goes, whew, and it doesn't shove into it. And then you pull it back out and you straighten it out, and pew, it moves again. And then you take something and you try to widen out the little hole there on the wrist on the hand, so that the wrist peg will go into it. Pew, moves out again. And then you get it and you're shoving it and you're shoving it, and then bang, you rip off the little leather strap on the shield, because the shield goes bloop, like that when you're shoving it onto the hand. And you're like, oh, god damn it. And then you have to take the strap and you got to repair that with some super glue or whatever it is that you actually broke on it. And then you put that back on in there. And then you're like, you know what? F this. I'm taking the wrist peg out of the arm. I'm going to put the wrist peg into the hand, because, the smaller peg goes into the hand and the larger peg now goes in the arm. And obviously it came out of the arm. Should be no problem. Pew! Same problem. So it's just absolutely so frustrating. It's absolutely so frustrating. Or even when you're putting the grip on there, they make a hand that's so tight that you can't peel it open. And then as you're trying to peel the hand open to shove in that little piece of leather, the hand comes back down on it, and you can't get the little thumb out of there, and you got to move the little thumb around, and you can't get it in, and it comes out like this, and you got your thing out again, and like, god damn it, and you put the thing around like that, and you finally get the hand in there, and then you break the hand shield strap off. The best one, Age of Ultron, magnet, right there, done. Done. Hate the shields, hate them. Some of you guys are experts on it. You're like, done, 5 minutes. Not me, hours. I was doing a bunch of them. I had all my caps over there, so got all the shields on them, and I did the was the First Avenger, Winter Soldier, Steve Rogers. Oh. Still have to do the Star Spangled Banner cap. I didn't do his shield, and I got to do this one, the Avengers cap. I haven't done his shield. Got to do those. Oh, he definitely needs a diorama. A rainbow floor or something, for fact. Oh, yeah, for fact. That would be great. I don't know how much Disney's going to stream it for. It's with a premium. So normally they charge, like $3.99 on top of your subscription to watch a movie like an Amazon Prime or anything like that. You already subscribe to it, and then if they make you have to pay the movie, you got to pay $3.99 on top of that. But for a first run, just now released movie, I don't know if it'll be $3.99. It might be a lot more. Suppose him laying down next to Thanos, like he's dead. Let's see, what else did I get? What else did I get? Let's put this back together. And this is a cool figure. I mean, it's a really cool figure. Definitely is one to complete a Thor collection, right? Cheap box. I mean, this is really cheap, but that's fine. They call it the Omniscient. With kind of got a little silhouette of him in there. Can you see that? Not bad. Pretty clever. And can't tell exactly what that's supposed to be. There on the back, if you can see that. Towards their PE008, the Omniscient. So he will go in with the H's. Heindel, not the Omniscient. He'll go by his real name when I put him in the little black boxes here. So this is the same figure. This is Spider-Man. I think it's the Spider-Man from Far From Home, the new suit. And I've got Spider-Man stealth suit. And another Tony Stark team suit. I need to revisit those head sculpts to see if there's a head sculpt I can put on there. Truthfully, like a Steve Rogers head sculpt. Really excited about Black Widow. I'm really hoping that we'll get pretty certain that the Hulkbuster 2 is the Mark 49. It's my thought. Cinemark did say when I paid for my ticket, that Robert Downey Jr. is in the show. Even though Robert's been denying it for years. He said, at one point he said, if I'm in the movie, I wish someone would tell me. The only ones they can't keep quiet is Tom Holland. Oh, and God, what's his name? Bruce Banner's the actor plays Bruce Banner, Incredible Hulk. What's his name? That's another one they can't keep quiet. They will spread the spoiler. They will spoil the movie for you. Robert Downey Jr. has learned how to keep his secret secret. So, of course, since this takes place during the time of Spider-Man Homecoming after Civil War, and we do know that Tony's all the way on the other side of the world at some sort of function, possibly India, it appears. We do know that the Mark 47 suit is safe and sound in New York City because it rescues Peter Parker after he falls into the lake, nearly drowns. Peter's like, wow, you came all the way out here to rescue me? And he opens up the lid and he's like, nobody's home. I'm not even there. Right? So what would he be doing with his suit 16,000 miles away? Isn't that what it is? No way. No way. No way. No way, no way, no way. And in Civil War, he had the Mark 46. Spider-Man Homecoming happens directly afterwards, Mark 47, Civil War. And Black Widow supposedly is happening at about the same time. So he's not on the Mark 50 already. That's Avengers Infinity War. 50 is. So what's he got with him out there on the other side of the world? Of course, I already got one of these. Ordered 3. The other 2 came very late. I think my first one came in February. These just came a couple weeks ago. So yeah, he had his suit with him. Yes, he did. I mean, King T'Chaka just got killed by the Winter Soldier in Civil War. Tony had his little flip up. Let's see. No, it was on his hand, right? His little flip up. What hand was it on? I think it was on this hand. I don't remember now. His little hand that he tried to stop the bullet from the gun. He realized that the Winter Soldier was shooting him in the head. I don't think for 1 second he's going to go about without a full suit anymore. Not after that. Nope. He had his Mark 48. And I truthfully believe we will see it in Black Widow. Web wings, hands, the very interesting little web shooter piece that they put on the wrist, which is a good concept, but it just looks like it's a big old glob of bluck coming out, and then a thin web string. So they went in there with a good idea, but I think they're kind of missed it in execution. I also have the accessory droid that they sold. So this comes with a little droid, and you got the big droid with the Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man homemade suit re-release. So you get the little mini drone. So they're all the same size. This is supposed to represent scaled further away. All right, we get the cloth face mask that he can hold in his hands. Cell phone. Are those the Edith glasses? Anybody? And then the 4 additional eyes. And like I said before, I like when they put them in these little things for keeping them together. Because I'm not going to keep them in this box. Because I'm not going to be able to know where this box is. Um, it's going to be in the garage someplace, buried. But all these, they're cataloged and easy to get to. So if I ever wanted to swap out an eye or put the glasses on. How do I have this one posed currently? So currently I have it with the head sculpt on and the glasses. So this one will be with the face mask on. And this kind of I don't know if it's supposed to be black or if it's supposed to be dark blue. Um, Comparing it to something that is black, this AC power adapter, it appears black. It doesn't appear dark blue. As a matter of fact, it makes this power adapter appear dark blue. I'm going to compare it to the lobster claw. I mean, it appears black. Um, it might be dark blue, but if it is, there's just so little blue in it, it's not even funny. Uh, so I don't know what some of you other diehard Spider-Man fans think about that. Um, I'm of the opinion that Spider-Man should be red and blue. And then he has all of his little special suits that are not red and blue. They're black and yellow, blue and white, etc., etc. But when you're with the classic design, the classic style, which is what this really kind of is, I think it should be red and blue. I don't know why it would be red and black. It just doesn't. The only thing I can assume is in the process of making the film, they wanted to differentiate it from his other suit, which was red and blue, and that way you knew for a fact that this was his new suit because it's red and black. But other than that, I just feel it should be red and blue, and that is just my thought and opinion. Yeah, I know he's got suits that are not red and blue. I realize that. I'm just saying this was his main suit, more or less. Should have been red and blue. That's all. Just a complaint, which doesn't go anywhere. My phone, you don't hear Kevin calling me right now. Oh, Feige, hey, what's going on, man? We got dinner going on tonight, right? We're going to talk about the show, so you can get my approval on the direction that you're going with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh, I heard a rumor that Favreau is going to be shaking up Star Wars in a good way. I hope that becomes the case. I hope what that rumor was comes true. I'll say that. I've really liked what Favreau has done with him and what's the other guy? Oh God, there's a couple of them actually that are responsible for the direction that Star Wars is going, in my opinion, right now. I can't remember the other guy's name. He worked for the Clone Wars. The other one did. God, come on, you Star Wars guys, help me out here. What am I talking about? Anyhow, I really enjoy this Mandalorian. Can't wait till next year or the end of this year, whenever it is that it comes out. For that and the other sequel that's coming out with that. But yeah, it's going to be a good thing. I heard he's going to shake up, really shake it up. Remember, Favreau was really the genius behind, in the beginning, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't think Feige was involved in Iron Man 1. Can y'all verify that? Was Feige anywhere even in the story at all when Favreau was making Iron Man 1? I don't think he was. Um, I think both Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2 were done very loosely in regards to the script wasn't even written in stone as they were filming. And um, look what he started. You know? Look what he started. So with that same mindset and dedication to a franchise, and evidently he loves Star Wars. Gosh, could you imagine could you imagine if Kathleen Kennedy? Oh God, don't let me start talking about people that are going to get my YouTube shut off. Could you imagine if Kathleen Kennedy had approached Star Wars with the same passion that the Marvel Cinematic Universe was approached and built? Jeez. 10 years, 23 movies, billions and billions and billions of dollars. And with Star Wars, we already started with a billion or multi-billion dollar franchise in the first place. It was handed to you on a silver platter. You almost couldn't screw it up. You had the golden goose laying golden eggs every time they turned around. Somebody's got to examine that and say, yeah, there's obviously a problem. I don't understand how someone could still sit there and just say, oh, no, that was the proper way to do things. Just my opinion. That's all I'm saying. Who am I? I don't think Heimel's helmet will come off per se. I think you can take it off. But be prepared to customize his head. I don't think there's any hair under there. But it's not connected to his chin or the side of his face. It's very pliable. Okay? It's very pliable. So you can get in there and lift it up. You're probably going to destroy the helmet and or the back of the head, one or the other doing it. The back of the helmet is not so readily movable where it's attached to his neck and the back of his skull. So I'll say that it very possibly could be removed and modified to do them without the helmet on, but that's going to be a customization. It's not designed to come off per se, from what I'm able to ascertain playing with it for that a few minutes. This is the little piece that you put the drone on. There's a little hole right there in the center. Goes on that little peg. And so the peg can be spun around. Okay. You see that? And it can be rotated as well. Okay. And it can be spun here too. and well, evidently it can be taken off. So it's multi-posable. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 articulations to it, plus an entire articulated rod, which also is not screwed in, but just sit there. So what? 1, 1,000, because every little bend in here would be considered an articulated joint. So let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and well, 6. 6 articulations plus 1,000. Should be able to find a good pose for this hanging onto the side of the articulated posing stand for Spidey. Too bad that they couldn't make this like clear or something so that it could blend in somehow, you know? But there's ways of hiding stands and poles in your posing. There's YouTube videos out there that discuss that, how to hide a pole that you're posing your figure with. Of course, there's the head sculpt. Not bad. Look at Tom Holland. That's the connection inside. We get the traditional web shooting webs, which we've had for years. We get the squishable staff lobster claw with the back support, which we've been getting for the last 3 or 4 years. You get the splat web. Short articulated posing rod with the long threads. So there's 2 kinds. There's long threads and there's short threads. This is a long thread one. You get black wrist pegs. Go with the black suit. And last but definitely not least, you get what I like to call the Todd McFarlane webbing. And I call it that because, in my opinion, and maybe some of you old comic book guys will agree with me on this, maybe you won't. Todd brought the web to life. The web just kind of was something that he did. He shot it and forgot it. You know, it would be used to stop villains or suspend villains or swinging through the air, and that was pretty much it. And when Todd McFarlane started drawing Spider-Man, or actually, yeah, I'd say when he started drawing Spider-Man, the webbing was a co-star in the story. There was so much webbing. There was webbing everywhere, man. He had to gather it up in his hands to keep from it getting in his way. And so that's why I call it the Todd McFarlane webbing. Because if he didn't maintain it, it would be out of control. Kind of like my room is. Of course, these boxes can be used as display boxes. I've said that before. You literally, if you don't have any place to store your figure at, you can take all the plastic out of it, put him on his little posing stand, and stick him in the bottom of the box, and he'll be displayed through there. And in this instance, you have that he would be displayed through. It's not the best, it's not the most ideal situation, but at least it is a display. Believe it or not. I've been watching The Boys too, by the way. Got about a couple episodes left of that. Jeez, what a show. My goodness. What a show. Man, oh man, oh man. Let's see what the instruction manual says. Okay, so the first thing the instruction manual talks about is putting the webbing in. And I want to discuss that too, because they show you a specific way of doing it, all right? And they're talking about this one here, okay? And let's see, the way they say to properly do it is to pull it through the bottom, okay? So what they're saying to do is to take a hand that's designed to hold the web, appears there's only one. Okay. And it'll be the one with the hole in the middle of the grip. Okay, it goes all the way through the grip there. Okay. And what they say to do is to pull it through. Now, what I'm going to tell you to do is stick something in the hole and make it bigger. All right. I've broken these in both ways of putting them in. So obviously you can't pull it through right off the bat. Obviously you have to push it through to some degree. Okay. Even though they sit there and tell you, don't push it through because you'll break it, but pull it through. All right. So I have pulled it through, and this has snapped right there. Snapped right off with the rest of this still up at the top. Not coming through. Pushing it through, I've broke it right here. So my opinion on the way to do it is to make that bigger just for a moment. You don't have to auger it out. You don't have to clean it all out with a file to make it larger. Just stretch it out. Just stretch it out enough so that when it goes in there, it goes in nice and easy. Now, this hand literally took that easily. They actually made the hole large enough for it. But some of the older ones, you're not going to be that fortunate. That went straight in without any effort whatsoever. So maybe somebody finally got around to it and started making sure that the holes are big enough in these grips. But if you're using an older Spider-Man, make sure that you stick something in there, a toothpick, a skewer, anything to get it wider so you can put this in there before you break the little webbing. Especially if this is the only webbing you have. Especially if this is like the first Spider-Man you've ever bought. You don't have another one of these laying around. It comes with every Spider-Man. So if you break one, you have another one. So this just an FYI. Because they make sure to point that out in the instruction manual. Because they know it happens. And my opinion is, maybe I'm wrong, my opinion is when they make one of these, they give it to one of the kids and say, here you go have fun. And whatever gets destroyed on it is what they make the instruction manual up over. I don't know. I have no idea. And also these, I've not been a fan of these new poles at all. It is what we get now. They've not gone back to the old poles. So what you do is you remove this like we always did, but there's no screw. It doesn't screw on. It just pulls right off, okay? And it's all now the same width there. And this easily goes onto it, okay? Easily. It can be tightened down, all right? But you notice it goes up and down easily. It's designed as you tighten it for this little rubber piece here to grip onto it. Where before, they actually sat. There was a lip here. It couldn't go down any further. It sat there, and that was as far as it went. The disadvantage of that was the height of your figure right there. The top of the pole was the height of your figure. You wanted your figure shorter, you use the shorter pole. You wanted your figure taller, you use the taller pole. We used to get shorter and taller poles, and you could do that with that, swap them out. With this, the advantage is then that you can position it up and down whatever you want. Specifically, if you're going to be using it not as a flight pole, but just to be standing on the display stand, you can have it right there to that height. And then display him in that manner without the crotch grabber. Now, it's just as ugly as the crotch grabber, so it's not like as if it made any cosmetic improvement over it. I don't know which one does more damage or less damage than the other. I couldn't tell you. But what I don't like about it is it's also designed to be the one that holds him up into his flight pose, okay? And as you tighten that down, it's supposed to stay in place. I mean, it's not going to. It's going to slide down, okay? Over time, it's just going to slide down, no matter what, okay? There's just not enough pressure that you can apply to that to make it stay. For one reason is there's no teeth in there. If they just put like a ridge of teeth or something inside this hole that could grip onto this, like on this pair of pliers here, right? This pair of pliers has teeth on the inside of it. Okay, if they were to put like those little ridges on the inside of this, that would help it stay there. All they have is just this little flexible little piece of rubber here, which is supposed to, through resistance and pressure, work in conjunction with the rubber on the articulated flight stand and keep it in place. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So it's not good for flight poses. So if you're planning on putting them in a flight pose, use one of the old poles. You can still find them out there. I couldn't tell you, maybe 30 of them easily. And that way you can put them up in the air and doing something and not have to worry about this sliding down. That's just my opinion on that. And then, of course, this is designed to go over this as well, or under it, wherever you want to put it. It goes on the same posing stand. And then you would place this however you wish, however you wish. And it appears that when I was pushing on this one earlier, I pushed it out of itself. Because it shouldn't have been sliding down like that. This shouldn't be going like that. I don't know if they had originally glued it. But it's definitely pushing through. See that little rectangle piece there? That's the bottom of that rod. Okay. Just a piece of rubber. That's all it is. Hard plastic. Metal. Metal going into rubber, going into hard plastic. But if you wanted to, you could put 3 of these on one and have one Spider-Man fighting, with 3 of these in the background, because you can just stack them right up here anywhere you want on this pole. So the advantage of that pole is that opportunity. You do get that, which is an advantage to some degree. But in regards to using it as a flight stand, no, definitely not my first choice for that. That's a fact. Absolutely a fact. Then the other thing that they did on this figure, and I don't remember if this was the first one they did it with or not. But we have these interesting little ways for the web to attach. And it's really ingenious. So what you do is you take the fist and you pop out the palm of it. Okay. And then you replace it with looks like I got the left hand and the right Weber. Replace it with the Weber. It just snaps into place as such. Okay. And then you would put your webbing into it. Which, like I said, it's a great idea right off the bat. Okay. But what I don't care for over it is that blob that you get where it comes out of the hand. So it's like he has a clogged up web shooter. Like the jet on the web shooter is just, you know, not clean. And so instead of it coming out as a nice, clean um, line, it gets all globbed up there at the wrist. And so that's the problem I have with that. It's a great idea, but they just made it too thick. It shouldn't be all globby like that. I wish they would revisit this idea and correct it. It's a great idea. It really is. Just didn't turn out the best that it could. And like I said, I don't remember which Spider-Man was the first one to get that. It may have been this suit. I don't remember. It would be nice if I had one, right? Yeah, McFarlane sure did. He just went crazy with the web, didn't he? The web had its own personality, more or less. Save all my song. I did the White Vision. Hell yeah! Nice, nice. So you're gonna put the White Vision versus the Ultron, huh? One thing that I was curious about would be if any of you customizers out there would be attempting to paint him as the Gray Vision when Thanos had killed him and removed the stone. Another thing about this is the white one is the gemstone is LED lit up now. I don't think any of the other visions, there's only been one other vision. I don't believe the original Vision has a light up LED stone. I don't remember if the Vision that's been released from WandaVision has a light up stone or not. Interestingly enough, though, this is a blue stone for the White Vision, and Vision has a yellow stone. I'm curious also then if anybody's going to be able to maybe swap that out, make Vision's stone light up. Hmm? I mean, it's a lot of work customizing any figure. And once you start in on it, there's no going back. It's all or nothing at all at that point. So I've tried customizing several pieces. I've been quite successful on some, and some were a complete disaster. But it's definitely an art form, customizing your Hot Toys. And boy, oh boy, is it scary. It is a scary thing. You hear popping and snapping, and the next thing you know, breaking and cutting. Ugh. Avoid setting the figure in the same. Avoid setting the figure in the same pose for an extended period of time because you will cause damage to the figure. You've been warned. Avoid setting the figure in same pose for long periods of time, otherwise the costume can be damaged. Their words exactly. Proceed with caution to the edge of costume when interchanging hands. Now they're actually acknowledging that posing your figure is going to cause damage to it. Isn't that nice? Do not attempt to remove these two pieces of the suit. They're not designed to come off. So if you do, you're customizing it on your own. So they're showing how to interchange the different eye openings on the helmet. The face mask, you just push at the corner, and it will pop it open. It's on there by magnet. It shows you how to interchange the head sculpt with the face mask helmet or whatever, the face mask. And then it talks about putting on the glasses, not to push on them in that area by the glasses themselves. You'll pop the glass piece out of the rim. So what they're saying to swap this out is just push in this corner, and it just pushes straight out, just like a vent window on a car. Just give it a little push right in the corner there. It'll pop right out. See that? Real easy. Easy peasy. So you don't have to fuss with it. You don't have to get a knife. You don't have to pry it out. Just push that upper corner, and it pops the eye straight out. And then you can put a new one in. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. And let's see what else. Final thing to talk about is how to put the cell phone into the hand, which hand you use for that, and how to hold the cloth face mask, which will not go over his head. You will damage that face mask. It will not fit on his head. And then how to put his web wings onto him. You get 3. One for each underarm, and then one for his in between his legs. I don't remember in the comics there being webbing in between his legs. Obviously, with the parachutists who have invented those skydiving suits that allow them to fly extended periods, they have that in between their legs. These don't actually fit really good. Close enough. The magnets will hold them in place, but they don't necessarily just fit perfectly along the contours of the figure's body. Okay, so just know that it's going to be close, but it's not going to be perfect. So if your OCD kicks in and you try to make it perfect, you're going to be sorely disappointed. But you can get darn close. And that's how it works. Not bad. Now, mind you, I don't know how you're going to put them on this at that point. You know, maybe you can still get this in here. Not bad. Like I said, don't let your OCD kick in because you'll be very disappointed. You're not going to be able to get it in there perfectly, but you'll definitely get the idea of what it's supposed to be. And I'm quite surprised that it still worked with the waist grabber on that, and he's definitely supported. He's not touching the figure base at all. So it is an option, but just be happy enough with how it goes on there. And it's just being held on by magnets. It's the simplest thing in the world to put up. And you don't have to be exactly on there. Just get it close enough and it'll suspend. I suppose if you were to use some fishing line or invisible thread and suspend him in a you know horizontal pose, that would be a way of doing it as well. You know, so it works. It's nice to see it. It just isn't perfect. It's perfect enough. Just keep your OCD in check. Let's see what else. I guess that's about it. Mark Ruffalo, thank you, Mark Ruffalo. Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo. If they don't want to keep a secret, just tell Tom Holland and Mark Ruffalo, and they will definitely put it out there. No doubt about it. They have been notorious at blabbing their mouth as to what's going on in the movies. And it's so funny watching the other actors. A lot of times when those guys are out on interviews, they have to have them. Now they have to have them with another actor to keep their mouth shut. One of the funny ones is watching Don Cheadle with Mark Ruffalo. I think that's who he was with, or it could have been with Tom Holland. I think it was Mark Ruffalo he was with, and Ruffalo's just spilling the beans, man, just absolutely spilling the beans. Ruffalo's like, Don Cheadle's like, "It's your funeral, man. It's your funeral." And then another one, one of the other actors or actresses, I forget now who it was, said, "Don't you know snitches get stitches?" So, or snitches end up in ditches. I forget what it was. So, so funny. Mark Ruffalo and Tom Holland they cannot keep a secret. It's so funny, as a matter of fact, when they were announcing this new Spider-Man movie, they're making a joke out of it with all the different names that could possibly be, and then of course the names that Tom Holland was sharing with everybody evidently was the wrong name. I don't know what the name of it is, but it was quite a clever little skit or commercial or something. I don't remember where it was that I seen that, where they each were told a different name of what the new movie was supposed to be, and so it was quite interesting. Weird between his legs. I don't know what they're talking about, Savon, with the White Vision teaming with Ultron. Was that something that happened in the Scarlet Vision television series? I don't remember that. Have him with the non-vision eyes. Yeah, I don't know what that would do. Was that something I don't remember happening in the show, or maybe the movie Age of Ultron? I don't remember. I don't remember. But yeah, I definitely ordered it. I think I only ordered one of the White Vision. I noticed Black Widow and Taskmaster still available on pre-order. So one of two things: either um, well, it can only be one thing. They're just not meeting expectations. They're not pre-sold to Sideshow and Big Bad Toy Store. I would have a hard time believing that they're forcing these distributors to pre-sell or prepay full price for these before they make them. I mean, on the day that they go out, I have a hard time believing that Sideshow says, "Put us down for 1,000." I really believe that, and maybe I'm wrong, because again, J.C. Hong or Howard Chan, they're not calling me and asking me how to run things. But I don't believe for one second that Hot Toys is telling them you have to buy 1,000 of these or 10,000 of these, and then you have to try and sell them. It's not like Girl Scout cookies or whatever, right? Um, I have a feeling that they're just not meeting the demand that they hope to get. you know, and I really don't have any idea. I mean, I've got my phone here. Look, Feige, Favreau, Howard, call me. Kathleen Kennedy, you for a fact need to call because you don't know what the hell you're doing. Call me. I'll talk to you. I'll tell you what's going on. Right here. Call me. Nobody calls me, man. I don't have any messages or phone calls from there. Just like you guys. Just a big fan. Right? Die Hard fan. There's this The Onion, which is a parody channel, did one time of a new Sony product, and it literally is a video that's probably 10 years old at this point, and it's still very relevant to this day of how Sony releases a new product. It could be any company actually, but it's so funny because they target it to Sony, and you could literally use it with any new release of any new product that Sony makes. It would fit the description on any of them, and it's funny because one of the consumers that gets interviewed on the day of release of this brand new Sony product, he says something to the effect of, "I'll buy whatever shit Sony makes. I don't even care." And that's kind of how it is here. I'll buy whatever shit Hot Toys makes for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't even care. You know, it's a crying shame. It's a crying shame. But yeah, if you have if you have some YouTube boredom time, look up The Onion and look up it's called something like Sony announces biggest piece of shit that doesn't do what the hell it's supposed to, or something like that. If you just go to the Onion ONN website, Onion News Network, and look up the Sony release, it's funny. It's done just like a news broadcast of the brand new Sony product, and it's hilarious. And it's easily 10 years old, but it works. It works for anything that Sony releases. Period, or most any major electronic company, as a matter of fact. So let's see what else is going on. Save on Mason, did you pick you up a Kingpin? I know that you don't normally go with third party creators, but I guarantee you Hot Toys isn't going to make a Kingpin. So I know you collect the villains, and Kingpin's one of the most villainous villains there are. I'm curious if you would be planning on getting that figure, Kingpin. No Kingpin, you're going to pass on him, huh? It looks good. I thought he looked pretty good. It's like I said. It's seems to be. I couldn't recognize him as any one specific Kingpin. I didn't. What was his name? Ving Rhames even play him once. There's been a handful of actors that have portrayed the Kingpin, and I thought it looked like all of them. Truthfully. Kingpin just looks like a big fat guy, but it's all muscle. I wish I could say the same thing. Kingpin's no joke. No joke at all. You're going to give me a call? Facebook Messenger. Reach me there, believe it or not. I guess that's about it. If there's anything else you guys want to talk about, I got plenty of stuff to unbox. I just think we've kind of come to the end of the show. Boy, what a rough start that was, wasn't it? Jeez Louise. That was insane. Felix Hunger, how you doing, man? All hours of the day and night, right? 3 a.m. in the morning. The white vision. Oh yeah, Felix is looking pretty good with the little blue LED light up stone in his head. Yeah, it's looking pretty awesome. It's still available for pre-order. It's going to be one of those I think it's going to be around for a while. I don't know. I anytime I ever get any of those sideshow rewards like that, a $5 coupon off or a $20 coupon off or whatever, it has a list of like 20, 30, or 40 figures that you can use it on. And I already own all of those figures. None of their coupons ever seems to apply to anything that I'm willing to buy because I already own whatever it is they're trying to sell the coupon for. Now, it would be nice if they would say, here's a $5, $10, $15 coupon or whatever, and you can apply it to anything. Because I don't even know. I've got probably $1,000 worth of figures on pre-order at Sideshow, and probably $10,000 or $20,000 worth of figures on pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store. In case you're curious. So, it's insane the amount of money I spend on figures. It's absolutely insane. Insane. I mean, you're looking at nothing here on this table is less than $200. Nothing here is. Some of them are at $300. The average in this room is pushing probably $300. Add it up. 200 figures. And growing. Yeah, I'll pretty much buy whatever shit Hot Toys makes. Jeez. I did not know he had swappable eyes. I mean, that's something new. I didn't catch that when I was looking at it. That's really interesting. Yeah, I've already prepaid for mine. I sure did. Yeah, yeah, I think I'm going to be taking over the living room. I, man, I'm really struggling with that. Uh, the biggest reason I'm struggling with that is because a friend of mine was telling me just the other day we'd gone out to have dinner. Some friends of mine had gone out and had dinner together, and obviously the discussion comes around about my wife who passed away in March, and my one friend has gone through a very bitter divorce in the past, and so he was trying to give me advice in the same manner of advice you would bestow upon somebody who's gone through a bitter divorce. So he's like, you need to move on. You need to stop thinking about her. You need to get her out of your life. You need to get rid of everything that reminds you of her. And I'm like, how insensitive can you be? Now, this is a friend of mine, so he wasn't trying to be insensitive. He wasn't trying to be rude. I hope not, at least. He just didn't understand how to give advice to somebody who's lost the love of their life. I lost my wife, and I wasn't wanting to get rid of her. I didn't want her to go. I'm not joyous that she's gone. I'm sad and bitter over the thing, actually. And what I'm struggling with is changing anything in the house that she put any touch to. You know what I mean? Like the living room's hers. You know what I'm saying? You guys that have a partner in your life that You have to compromise with. You might get your man cave, or you might get the garage, or you might be lucky enough to have the living room, or you might even own the kitchen. But for the most part, from my experience, it's been that uh, one of you is going to be the major decision maker over how the house is decorated. You know what I'm saying? And that's the struggle I'm with. Is I miss my wife, and I enjoy being reminded of the stuff that she set there or whatever. And that's the struggle. Is at one side of the fence, it's you know redecorate the living room, make it mine, you know, put the figures out there, put these beautiful dead tall cases out there, and just make my presence known. But I'm in no quick mood to forget my wife. Not at all. Not at all. I There have been days recently where I haven't remembered her. I would just be so busy just doing whatever I'm doing that she wouldn't come to my mind. And I might remember that when I go to bed, or maybe even the next day. And I'll be like, oh my God, I went an entire day and didn't even think about her. And, that sucks and hurts as well. So, that's always the constant struggle in that regards. You know, uh, as time goes, things will change. And I'll never stop loving her. You know, she's attained sainthood in regards to, at this point, she can do no wrong. You know what I mean? She's how can you possibly blame her for anything anymore? She can't do it. She's gone, you know? And that's one of the hardest things about dealing with all of this. The good thing is our minds want to only remember the good times. We have to force ourselves to remember the bad times, believe it or not. If you're dwelling over bad times, that's you not letting go of the past. For whatever reason, you refuse to let go of the bad times. For whatever reason. Maybe you can't because it affected you in such a way that you can't get that bad time out of your mind. It's not the natural way of your brain wanting to work. Your brain wants to remember the good times. Wants to remember the good times. So that's the nice thing about it is, the bad times go away. And there weren't many. I've told you guys for years the great relationship that I felt that I had with my wife. You know, she didn't necessarily support the figures. She was happy I had a hobby. She was happy I had you guys to talk to. And she tolerated the figures because they were here in this room. And all the bills were paid. So I wasn't, taking food off the table or not paying the electric or having to dodge a debt collector because I was buying figures. You know what I mean? So she tolerated it. And there were times when she took some, I don't know, she seemed to have some pleasure in them at times. She embraced them on certain occasions. For instance, when we would have 4th of July or Memorial Day lunch or dinner, she literally used to like setting up the table for any holiday event. She would set up the table with the centerpiece and the whole 9 yards. and she would tell me to bring Captain America and some red, white, and blue figures or whatever to display in the centerpiece um, for the holiday dinner. And I always thought that was nice that she would do that, you know. So couldn't believe it the first time she asked me to do that. But sometimes I would show her a figure and she would actually look at it with interest because she had some figures that she collected as well, but hers weren't as expensive as mine. And sometimes as she would look at the figures, you could tell that she was being nice, but really was not thinking anything very nice about the figure at all, but would just be nice to me to, entertain me more or less. So, yeah, I lost my buddy. We uh, we hardly ever fought. Of course, we'd have disagreements and we would have discussions over things where we didn't agree on things, but eventually we would get over it. And I'm talking about eventually, no more than a few hours. There was nothing that ever went on way beyond that. And I've told you guys over the years, if you've been following me, I said, if you're ever in a relationship, in my opinion, where that doesn't work in that manner, then you're probably in the wrong relationship. If you're at each other's throats all the time, and someone's telling you you've got to compromise and you've got to, it's just the way things are, I disagree with that. I don't believe that's the case at all. I have a feeling if you have to work that hard in a relationship, something's very wrong. I didn't have to work hard at all, and neither did she. I was so happy with her, and she was so happy with me. And she said that she didn't. She did. She said she never worked at anything to make me happy, and I just, just did whatever I do normally to make her happy. So, yeah, it's funny when people try to give you advice that tell you to move on. You know, get them out of your mind, get rid of all their stuff. I disagree. I very much so disagree. It wasn't a bitter divorce. I wasn't looking forward to the moment that she would no longer be with me. And I certainly don't want to forget her. So that's the good and bad of life, right? Yeah, there you go. Your photographs, you can give them a kiss. There you go. That's nice. Take your time. This is going to be years, man. I'm telling you. It's going to be years. Years. Yeah, everyone has their own way. Absolutely. Absolutely. The best thing we can ever do if we ever are presented with information or knowledge that someone has passed away is just take a moment to contemplate that a life is gone. You know what I mean? Each of us is a unique individual. Each of us is a life on this earth. And if you ever are presented with that knowledge that someone has passed, just take a moment just to think about them and know that another life is gone, you know? I think that's probably the best thing you do is just acknowledge that someone just like you who has hopes and dreams and plans and has done stuff no longer has that ability anymore. Just take a moment just to think about that and just reflect on it. Maybe a moment of silence, and then just apologize to the person that you're sorry to be told that you're sorry that you heard that, and you don't have to try to cheer them up. Just just take a moment to remember the fact that a life is gone. I think that's probably the best thing you can do. Yeah, no, I never will. I'll remember as long as I live. I mean, there'll be a point where I won't break into tears whenever I think about her, and but I'll never stop loving her. And that's not saying that I won't move on at one point in my life. It's not saying there might not be another Mrs. Emerald in my life. I'm just saying that I will always love her, you know, in that regard. There's nothing she could do to make me not love her because she's not here. You know what I mean? There's nothing she could do. Yeah, she's a little bitter right now over the whole thing. Everyone deals with grief in their own way, and she's dealing with it in a different way. And so I wish her well. We haven't communicated much at all since this. So I wish her well. I hope she's healing well. So I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks very much for spending these last 2 hours with me. Sorry about the technical problem in the first place because I was talking smack about YouTube. You know, that's what it really was. Anyhow, I will be here next week. For fact, we're not going to be able to talk much about Black Widow because I want you guys to see it. I'll give you a review on it as to whether or not I thought it was a good movie or a bad movie, but no spoilers next week, okay? No spoilers on Black Widow. Can't do it. We got to give it 2 weeks. Hopefully you guys will get a chance to see it. So, I love you guys. Thanks for your time. Peace.